We got some more listings that showed up on the internet courtesy of JT Prime 17 jumping into that of the Walmart app archive. And we got 3 here, technically 4, but we'll jump into the last one afterwards as kind of a separate addendum to everything. And it's some new Studio Series stuff. Some of it Studio Series 86, some of it regular Studio Series. Now, we kind of knew one of them. The other 2 are brand new to us. So let's jump into that. First one we have here is Transformers Generations Studio Series 86 Voyager class Wreck-Gar. Now, the conversation kept coming up like, what would be the next logical Studio Series stuff to kind of pace it a little bit, certain characters. And I always bring up, I say it again and again, it's got to be stuff that trademarks are running up. And so stuff like, I would have to say, Wreck-Gar just makes perfect sense. Last time we had a Wreck-Gar figure was that, I believe it was a Walgreens exclusive Power of the Primes deluxe class. And historically, the past couple of years, Wreck-Gar's, I guess we'll call them trademark saving releases, have all been repaints. Whether it be, they did, it's actually kind of funny now that I think about it. Both the deluxe class and he had a scout class long before that, or a legend scale, if you will. And both of those were from a groove mold from the Protectabots, if anything. So kind of a shame that the past few toys he had were repaints. And even he had that 3-pack there with the other Junkions and Hot Rod to celebrate the 86 movie. That was just a repaint of a previously existing Wreck-Gar mold, which was also historically a deluxe. But this one here, a Voyager. Very interesting choice to go with a Voyager scale. Kind of hoping that he comes with a bunch of extra accessories and make him a little smaller and put the plastic towards, having a little TV in his chest or something. That'd be really cool. Make it unique. Make it unique. Try to make it really match how it looked on the screen. He was a little more bulky compared to, let's say, his Generations versions or Classics versions that he's had up to that point. And it'd be pretty fun to have. He talks TV. Be really cool. The next one here, speaking of historically known repaints, you got a Studio Series Generations, Studio Series 86 Voyager class Sweep. So we pretty much knew that this was going to come at some point. Just sooner more than later, I guess. And it's going to be a Scourge repaint into a Sweep. Will there be something different about this one? Will there be a slight mold change or, a lighter tone of blue to kind of differentiate that? The unfortunate thing is in actual fiction, Sweeps kind of looked exactly the same like Scourge. If you had a whole bunch of Scourge toys together and a Sweep, you could call them Sweeps. It's there. So I guess they're probably going to go, I'm going to assume they're going to go the Bakan route. And what I mean by that is Bakan back in, I think it was 2010, they did their Scourge and Sweep Army Builder set, and Scourge was the darker blue and the Sweeps were the lighter blue. That's what I'm going to assume. That's probably the best way to go about it. This isn't even a trademark thing. The Sweep trademark was never trademarked before. And even when Bakan did it, because it was an Army Builder pack, it wasn't really necessary. But yeah, it's again, that's going to be I feel like that's going to be an unpopular Voyager. It's, you would think it's something that's an Army Builder, so it's something that's probably going to be bought up in large numbers in the secondary market. But because it's that Voyager price point, which is slightly more expensive than what we're already used to with the increase of the deluxe, and on top of that, it's not exactly a super popular character, I feel this might be a bit of a shelf warmer, this one. I'm taking an early call right now, but just a deep feeling on that one. I just hope they do something a little bit unique to it. Maybe give an extra accessory or an extra blast weapon or something that's different from Scourge, just to make it a little different. Maybe those little those long tractor beams or whatever that they used that they shot on Ultra Magnus. Just something to do a little different. Sweeps, exterminate them, exterminate him, something like that. Last but not least, we have, and this one we had rumors of it, and now we have more or less a confirmation, is that of the Generation Studio Series Bumblebee Movie Voyager class Thrust. For people unfamiliar who Thrust was in the movie, there was a green Seeker jet in that Cybertronian scene, and that is called Thrust. Although they're more referred to as an Army Builder of a multiple Thrusts. So is it Thrust the character, or is it Thrust the I guess Army Builder Seekers are called thrusts. We don't know, but it's green. It's the Starscream Seeker mold from the Bumblebee movie, and it's done in green. And we'll be getting that at some point. Judging by the product numbers of the EAN, it actually is going to come before even that of Wreck-Gar and Sweep, so it might even come all in a case assortment together. We don't know, unconfirmed, but it's a strong possibility. And the last one here, and I was going to skip it, but I figured it was also part of it, is that we have a Bumblebee Evergreen Warrior multi-pack. Now, is this going to be part of the buzzworthy Bumblebee subline? Is this something else? We don't know. But it's a multi-pack, and it's going to be $49.99 MSRP. And we had originally a listing for a 4-pack. We didn't know what the story was with that. Now we have this Warrior multi-pack at $49.99. Judging by the price point at $49.99, it could potentially be 4 scout classes or 2 deluxes. You know, there's many different ways you could look at this. You know, Evergreen Warrior multi-pack. Bumblebee with Barricade, you know, buzzworthy Bumblebee 2007 movie thing. Who knows? Some kind of probably repack of pre-existing designs under the buzzworthy Bumblebee banner. $49.99, $50. It is what it is, like I always say. Probably the least exciting thing of the news here today. But hey, Wreck-Gar, pretty cool. At least we know what's going to be happening in the future with Studio Series 86. I feel, you know, people were asking me, like, what do I think the next, like, Studio Series 86? This was a common topic that was asked in my streams that I do on Saturday. And I feel that if it wasn't for Blaster having that recent G1 reissue that they did to kind of keep the name fresh in the trademarks, I feel that Blaster's like a shoe-in. Like, they'd easily be able to do like a leader class Blaster and include his tapes with it, you know, like just to fill it out. Like the Blaster figure will be like a Voyager kind of scale, and the tape cassettes will kind of fill out that price point at a leader class. Or alternatively, I mean, you just do Blaster as a Voyager himself, and then the tape cassettes as a separate Voyager, as a little, you know, I guess communication team set or something. There's many ways you could tackle that. It's unfortunate that the price point that Studio Series affords doesn't really have a small price point. It starts at deluxe, so it's really tough to kind of, you know, when you have small little scout class little figures like that of the cassette bots and stuff like that, you need to find a place for it, and it usually ends up more as an accessory. But I would really lean on Blaster, and Perceptor is another one. Perceptor is a trademark that is coming up, and I could totally see a Perceptor and a Blaster together being released in the same wave, just to kind of complement their little, you know, Autobot communication scene. And, you know, first they crack the shell, then they crack the nuts inside. But either way, that being said, hey, Wreck-Gar's cool. Sweep, not really a surprise. I just hope that they do something unique. And the Thrust also. It's funny, a historical amount of repaints here. Kind of the what we've been talking about the past month. But yeah, let me know what you think about this. Interesting. It's kind of hype, actually.